This weekend's main event of UFC 281 at Madison Square Garden in New York will feature a highly anticipated trilogy fight. Israel Adesanya will defend his UFC middleweight title against Alex Pereira, a fighter he faced twice and lost to while competing in Glory Kickboxing. Recently, Pereira made an appearance on the Portuguese-language MMA Fighting podcast. During the podcast, Poatan stated that Izzy had been dragged into this fight. If he really wanted this, he would have done that as soon as I signed with the UFC. He said he's being forced to fight. He's the champion. It's obvious that he cares about the belt. He knows I'm not like the other guys he fought. Otherwise, the results would have been different in both times we fought. Pereira continued, he knows I'm different, and I'm proving that. I'm showing that in my 3 UFC fights, I'm being honest here. He doesn't want this fight. Nobody wants. His team doesn't want it. People close to him don't want it because they know the risk. Is he good? Is he the champion? He's there because he did what he did. Everybody knows my potential and sees my evolution. Right after it was announced that my next fight would be for the belt against him. He and his whole team said it was a bit unfair that I was fighting for the belt because I just got here, that Adesanya did so many fights and I should do the same. Man, I'm just hearing that and taking it as something positive for me. That shows me he pretended he wanted to fight me, and when I got here, his whole team was against it. That shows all of them. He and his team are mentally shook. Throughout the podcast, Pereira discussed Adesanya's more recent performances, which have drawn criticism for lacking action and a killer instinct. There is no way he fights the way he's been fighting. He will have to be more aggressive, Pereira reckoned. I'm ready for that. We're talking MMA, we're not talking kickboxing. I think he comes more aggressive and that's perfect for me. Pereira appears to be sure that his matchup with Adesanya will go similar to their prior encounters, one which Pereira won by decision and the other by walk-away knockout. The Brazilian claimed that his confidence was led to some backlash online. Posted something the other day and someone wrote, "Be more humble." The champion himself posted the video of him getting knocked out by you. So tell him to post a video of him knocking me out. He doesn't have that. I've knocked out the guy that is UFC champion today. It doesn't matter if that was 30 years ago. It's part of my history, and people want to take that away from me. It doesn't make sense. In the first episode of UFC 281 Embedded, Israel Adesanya and his teammates are based in New Jersey. Valdvik at Atrius Training Center. There, the last style bender has been working mainly on his speed, reflex, and quick reaction. Aboila Beckley, Israel Adesanya's strength and conditioning coach, said that they're done with weight exercises, and their priority is reflex workouts. You have to be relaxed. If you relax, you see it more, Aboila mentioned. It's almost fight week. We don't need to do any more weight exercises. So reflex, focused reaction work, that's what it is. Former UFC lightweight champion Glover Teixeira is wasting no time to prepare number 4 middleweight, Alex Pereira, for the biggest fight of his life. Former champ praised Poatan and said, he is strong, athletic, very strong. I'm happy to be part of the story, you know, and I'm anxious over here because I want to see that guy's put the belt on his waist, just as much as I wanted to put that belt on my waist, and still do for my next fight, you know. California, Irvine, Team Oyama Training Center is the place where current strawweight champion Carla Esparza is preparing for her upcoming title defense matchup against Weili Zhang. Carla Esparza is still looking for defending her championship belt for the first time. I'm super motivated for this fight. Because, you know, although I've been able to secure the UFC title twice, you know, I've never been able to defend it so far. And I think to defend the belt, it's always been kind of one of those like moments that I wanted to get back, and going into this fight like, I know that I'm going in there the best me. Just like most of the fighters, Weili Zhang is spending last week before the fight at UFC Performance Institute, Las Vegas, Nevada. The former UFC strawweight champion is ready to take what she thinks belongs to her. I think, this is how I show respect to my profession. Weili said, this is how I show respect to my opponent. I respect Carla a lot, and I want to see the best of myself when I fight her. Although Pereira has won in each of his 3 octagon bouts, head coach of Adesanya, Eugene Bearman, expressed his opinion on whether it is too soon for the challenger to have his chance. There's no way he gets a title shot if there wasn't history there. It's ridiculous. Bearman said on the MMA Hour, it's just ridiculous that someone would get a title shot so quickly. There's history with Israel, and the story and the UFC hate it or love it. Dana has to promote fights. That's one thing they do really well. They picked up this history, picked up this would be a great fight that's going to bring a lot of eyes. and strategically push Alex so he could fight for the title. Despite the UFC having intentionally scheduled this third clash between competitors, Bearman is fully aware of the kind of dangerous striker Adesanya will be up against on Saturday. He is capable of just taking you out, and that's a very rare gift that Alex has. Bearman said on the MMA Hour, "Not every fighter you come across has that gift. It's very rare, and to fight someone like that is the ultimate challenge. You have to be on for 25 minutes. You could be off for 2 seconds like Israel was in the last fight, and then the whole landscape of the fight changes. Whether you're winning or losing, it doesn't matter." That to me is the ultimate challenge, I think. Adesanya will try to defend his championship belt for the 6th time. In his lone professional mixed martial arts defeat, the last stylebender attempted to join the small group of legends to win 2 belts in 2 different divisions, but was defeated by Jan Blachowicz via unanimous decision at UFC 259 in March 2021 with scores of 49-46, 49-45, and 49-45. Since then, Adesanya has defeated Marvin Vettori, Robert Whittaker, and Cannonier via unanimous decision. Some fans may not have found Adesanya's dominance to be the most exciting thing to watch, but Bearman thinks Adesanya will continue to dominate the middleweight division in a similar one-sided fashion. "I see Israel doing what he does best, and that's accumulating damage, nice clean fight, stays out of danger, and just accumulates damage. Whether he gets a stoppage or not, I always envision it going the distance, Israel having a clean fight, Israel hitting and not getting hit, then getting back to his friends and family after that to celebrate and all the rest of it." Poatan understands that he's not signed for another kickboxing match on Saturday night, where he meets the reigning middleweight champion on the main event. Adesanya, 23-1 MMA, 12-1 UFC, will look to notch his 6th title defense when he takes on Pereira, 6-1 MMA, 3-0 UFC. Having lost to Pereira twice in kickboxing, Adesanya is motivated to avenge those losses. Beating him, that's what matters. Izzy said on his YouTube channel, "Like the belt? Just forget about the belt. Just beating him, a killer like him, that's what matters." Pereira defeated Adesanya during a 5-year period. After overcoming those setbacks, the last stylebender promises that Pereira will face a different challenge in MMA. "We have dusted that off, we have cut it off, and I can see what I did wrong," Adesanya said. "So it's not gonna be like last time. This is a different fighter you're facing, and now I've become another fighter. I've rebirthed myself. I have rebirthed it, and I just feel like I want to have fun. That's the goal, but this fight I'm gonna have fun. That's the ultimate goal. And when I have fun, I'm the best in the world." Adesanya, 23-1, has more than 3 times the MMA experience of his Brazilian opponent. But due to his poor octagon finishing percentage, some of the last stylebender's most recent title defenses have drawn criticism for being boring. Will Israel Adesanya avenge his previous losses against Alex Pereira? We'll find it out this weekend in the Empire State.